All right, people, it is officially official. Hailey Van Lith is now at Louisiana State University. Let's talk about it. So Hailey Van Lith just completed her junior year at Louisville. And after the season was over and after they lost in the tournament, she decided to enter her name in the transfer portal. Even though she initially indicated that she was going to continue to play for Louisville next year, she decided to enter her name in the hat for the transfer portal. She was the #1 transfer ranked by ESPN this year. And when she entered her name in the portal, she opted to not be recruited by other schools, which led us to believe that she kind of already knew where she was going to go. For those who don't know, Hailey Van Lith previously had a relationship with LSU head coach Mulkey. And initially, she was seriously considering going to Baylor as a senior before she decided to go to Louisville instead. Since the Baylor days, Mulkey has left Baylor and now is coaching for LSU. And it just seems like the perfect fit. Hailey Van Lith to LSU. Today, she posted a photo on her social media with her in a LSU uniform with the caption 11. So that's likely that 11 will be her new jersey number at LSU. At Louisville, her jersey number was number 10. Hailey has 2 years of eligibility left in the NCAA, assuming that she wants to use both of those 2 years at LSU. Now, why has Hailey chosen to go to LSU? What does this mean for LSU as a team? And also, does this change the odds of LSU repeating as national champions? I will talk about that in just a moment. But first, I want to ask you to please like this video. And if you enjoy learning about women's college basketball, learning about the WNBA, women's basketball in general, please subscribe to this channel for more on what's happening in the world of women's basketball. All right, back to the video. Now, why did Hailey Van Lith choose to go to LSU? NIL, baby. The NIL opportunities at LSU is huge and bigger than anything that Hailey Van Lith can really do at Louisville. According to On3, they're a company that does a lot of reporting on the world of NIL. They reported that LSU is really killing the game in terms of NIL money for women. You have Livy Dunn, who leads all of the NCAA for women in NIL valuations. Her valuation right now is at $3.5 million. She's a gymnast at LSU. You have Angel Reese, who is estimated to have generated, have a valuation of $1.4 million. At number 4, you have Flaw J. Johnson, who is valuated at $824,000. Now, this is 3 LSU players in the top 4 for the entire NCAA for women. Hailey Van Lith currently is number 8 on that list with $518,000 in NIL valuations. It's very likely that her deciding to go to LSU, she's probably going to bump right up to number 5 or probably even number 3, right underneath Angel Reese in terms of NIL money. And that's because LSU's ecosystem is really geared to getting as much NIL money as possible. Their boosters, the companies associated with LSU, they are ready to give money to players to get them to choose LSU. And while the new age of NIL is leading to a bunch of transfers, for women basketball players, I think it's super beneficial. There is no guarantee that some of these women that are balling in the NCAA will actually have a long career in the WNBA. An example of that is number 4 pick in the 2022 draft, Emily Ensler, who was just waived by the Indiana Fever. You have a top 4 pick in the previous draft that got waived. Because the WNBA is such a hard league to make and to stay in, college players need to get their money when they can. And this is not me saying that Hailey Van Lith won't have a long career in the WNBA. It's just that you never know. And players, women basketball players, need to secure the bag while they can in the NCAA, because you never know if they'll make it in the WNBA and how long they'll stay. So secure the bag now. And that's clearly what Hailey Van Lith is doing. So what does this mean for LSU? I think this means that the Mulkey era is in full effect. Last year, LSU got the #1 transfer available. That was Angel Reese. She transferred from Maryland. This year, in 2023, LSU got the #1 transfer available, Hailey Van Lith. They also have 2 of the top high school prospects coming in next year. They have Michaela Williams and Aaliyah Del Rosario, like top talent. You also have Flau'jae Johnson, who was a phenomenal freshman this year and is just really building on her basketball skills. So you just have a very solid team for next year. A team that already won the championship next year, and they're just back to just try to do it again. Hailey Van Lith going to LSU means that it's very likely that you can expect to see LSU in the SEC tournament finals, and very likely winning the SEC tournament next year. It also kind of secures LSU's fate, at least in the Final Four, if not the national championship game next year. And for those of you who are LSU fans that are watching this video, you're probably super ecstatic, and you're probably saying, hey, LSU is going to win back-to-back. I just want to remind you of a couple of things to keep in mind. Winning back-to-back is very, very hard. Ask South Carolina. South Carolina was trying to go back-to-back this year. Couldn't do it. Winning back-to-back is difficult. And so it's not necessarily a guarantee that they will win next year. Even though they've added the #1 transfer available, Hailey Van Lith. Huge asset for sure, but you just never really know. Also, you still have one player who is still really in the mix when it comes to the transfer portal. You have Anissa Morrow. Anissa Morrow went on a visit to University of Southern California last week, I believe, and took some photos. This weekend, she is headed to Baton Rouge for a visit with Kim Mulkey. And next weekend, she is going to be heading Don Staley's way to visit South Carolina. So you still have a huge player in the mix who is still undecided. That's just another thing to kind of think about. Also, next year, keep in mind that UConn should be back to full strength next year. And we all know that, people weren't really checking for UConn this year because, they had injuries, right? But next year, they should have a fully healthy Paige Beckers and a fully healthy AZ Fudd. So it's very likely that UConn and LSU will be right up there in the conversation for your national championship for next year. Also, of course, you have South Carolina in the mix as well. And then Iowa is still a kind of hit or miss because we still don't know what exactly Iowa is doing in the transfer portal, because they still have a hole to fill with Monica Czinano. So lots of things sort of up in the air. This helps LSU's chances of winning a back-to-back championship, but I just want to caution those who are saying it's in the bag, that it may not be in the bag, and LSU still has to stay healthy the entire season next year and still has to perform when it matters the most. This will be a grind for LSU to come back and win a national championship back-to-back. And in one of my other videos, I honestly was super ecstatic, and I was like, hey, they're going to win next year if they get, Hailey Van Lith, or also if they get Anissa Morrow. And this is me kind of softening my stance on that position, just because it is very hard to win back-to-back. And I know there's a lot of fanfare around LSU and a lot of hype around it, but I think it's important to also remind ourselves that like there are other teams in the picture and other teams who are building a roster that can kind of go toe to toe with what LSU is trying to build. Other teams are retooling, and we never quite know how things are going to shake up when it comes to injuries, when it comes to coaching schemes, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's the video. Hailey Van Lith is officially an LSU Tiger. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. I think for sure we know that LSU should be the funnest team in basketball next year. Like, you just have a bunch of personalities on the team, and you're also coached by probably the biggest personality in college basketball, men or women. So it's going to be exciting. And we also know that there's going to be a ton of trash talking. Next year, LSU might be the most trash talking team. But whether they'll win the championship or not, they're very likely to. I think the odds are with them. The odds also are with UConn, assuming that they are healthy next year. But we will see. Let me know what you all think about Hailey Van Lith going to LSU. Do you think it was a good decision? Do you think it was a bad decision? What do you think about the reign of Kim Mulkey in the SEC? She's really making her mark in the SEC. How do you think this affects other teams? What do you think this means for the national championship game for next year? Just let me know your thoughts below. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you love this video, please subscribe to the channel. And I will be making other videos about the transfer portal. If you haven't seen some of the ones I've already made, check out the playlist that I'll put up at the end of this video. Also, I'll be making some other ones of some lesser known high profile transfers that I think will be making a huge mark on the teams that they're going to. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, guys. Bye.